So your takeaway from the meeting, do you, I think that you are a little bit more optimistic than I am. So give me the positive so that maybe you can brainwash me.
All right. Well, there were some disappointments. It was disappointing that General Paxton left really early. That was really disappointing. But I think the positive things is, I was super encouraged to hear about this grant money.
Yes.
I had no idea that existed, and I don't think anybody else in the room did either.
But you picked up on it quite well, and I want to say, because at that point I think I was probably pacing. I was a little bit upset.
No, I'm feeling like that could be realistically used as a solution to the problem of parents violating the court-ordered custody schedule, which we heard today is really painful, and that's kind of the root of the problem for a lot of the parents.
Right.
And I think that the parents just want things to be fair. They're not so against child support or against child support enforcement, but let's enforce the parenting time as well.
You talk about parents wanting things to be fair. I think at the same time, I've run into children that want things to be fair. They feel like they have to say something when they're around one parent that disparages the other parent, or else they're going to be repercussions to them. So, the issue of fairness here is not just dealing with parents, it's dealing with the children, because we actually put them in difficult situations, and then everything's just fine. No, it's not.
Right.
So, well...
Yeah, I think that hopefully we all understand when we're talking about this.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're talking about us,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I have these rights, and it's all about the parents, but really it's not about the parents, it's about the kids.
Yeah.
And they truly do need to have relationships with both of their parents on both sides of their families and all of their grandparents.
Yeah.
So it's really not about us, it's about our kids.
Yeah. And one thing that kind of discouraged me a little bit is that it seemed like to me that the Office of the Attorney General was defending the status quo. Mm-hmm. Somehow they were making the assumption that there would be no corrupt judges, that the family court system works perfectly fine. It's a perfectly well-oiled machinery. And everything was just, we just need to make a tweak here or a tweak there.
Well, they did. There was a statement made that talked about boundaries, right? There's the judicial branch, there's a legislative branch, and we're the enforcement.
Yeah.
So those lines were kind of drawn, and I think that was some of that is out of our control.
Right.
So some of that made sense, but I still think that they're not keeping their statement, like I said, that's on their website.
Right.
That they are here to enforce and make sure that children get to have what they need with both parents.
Right. And Brandon Johnson made some good points too when he started to read this is what the law says.
Right.
Why aren't you doing it?
Right.
Why
don't just pick and choose and only enforce child support. Enforce all of the laws. And when they introduced General Paxton coming into the room today, that was a big part of the introduction is, he upholds the laws.
Well, he selectively upholds some of the laws.
Right. And so that's what we would like to see changed.
Right. Yeah. And I'm for General Paxton in a lot of ways. He's helped to defend issues for the state, for the sovereignty of the state, for issues of faith and issues of freedom. But as I've said, I was at a meeting last night, and the Texas values, and they talk about faith, family, and freedom. And what I look at is faith and family are the foundations for freedom. If you have a weak or no faith, freedom does not result. If you have great faith, but you destroy families, enslavement results. And, I would give him very high marks for defending faith and freedom. When it comes down to defending family, I'm not sure that the Office of the Attorney General is passing. Maybe that's harsh, and I know that you're much more gracious than I am, but that was my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. So.
Well, I think it's a sad statement when you have, like I said, you have hundreds of employees for your state who educate about anything and everything you can possibly imagine. Like I said, diabetes, obesity, car seat safety, crab meat safety, all of these things, but you don't have a department that educates about co-parenting. And it's absolutely critical to the well-being of the children in the state in Texas. So I think we need to get that priority straight.
There was just one final thing I want to add.
Sure.
It just came back to my mind. What I did not like in the meeting is that whenever somebody got up to speak, it was like the rebuttal was, well, this is your specific case.
Yes.
This was your specific case. I said, you know, and I'm like, this person represents 1,000 people. You only invited 30 people here. Did you invite 30 people in here knowing that some wouldn't be here, and so that you could rebut each individual case? This is happening throughout the state.
Right.
And I did not see a lot of solutions offered. I heard a lot of justifications. I heard a lot of rationalizations. I did not see, you have a positive solution-based approach, but I did not really find that. I was more than disappointed with the meeting today, but I hope that I am just, maybe I ate something wrong for breakfast. First time I had some organic soy milk, so maybe that's the problem.
Well, I think there were some disappointments. Like I said, the general left early,
Yes.
and I know you worked really hard to put this together.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have seen, I think you're right, I think people told their stories not because they were looking for anything, looking for sympathy
But
or any kind
illustrative.
of remedy for themselves, but they were trying to give it as an example.
Yeah.
You know, but it's an epidemic.
Yeah.
It's not just them. They were just giving their story as an example.
And if you don't have $200,000 to spend to fight the system, you're going to lose.
Right.
Can I ask you for one final question?
Sure.
How much did your legal fees run?
Oh my goodness. I can tell you that when all was said and done, when it was over after 2 years, and I almost brought that with me, I calculated out all of the money that I had lost during that 2-year period during the court case, which was shown in the documentary Divorce Corp. And after 2 years, I had lost over $120,000.
Yeah. Well,
Not that I had it, but
Yeah.
it was my money. My mom spent all of her retirement money.
Right. Yeah.
So it was everything combined was a negative of $120,000.
I heard so many people say how their parents helped them out. They went through their parent retirement money.
Yeah.
Carla, last night that I spoke with, said her 74-year-old mother, who she works with, has not only spent all of her money, but now had to go back to work.
Yeah, my mom did too. My mom had
Yeah.
retired.
Yeah,
and
I met your mom.
She's gone back to work.
Wow.
So it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's really cruel, really.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. I hope
Thank
that
you.
regardless of the way that I feel about this meeting, that there will be a movement to get things changed,
Yeah.
not just in the child support issue and the child visitation. As you know, I'd like to see a lot of things change. But thank
Yeah.
you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.